Stop for just a moment. Take a breath. Because this message, it did not find you by accident. You were guided here. Something greater than what you can see right now, something ancient and patient and deeply aware of everything you have been carrying, it made sure that your eyes would find these words today. Your guardian angels have been watching. They have been with you in the silence. In the nights when you sat alone with thoughts too heavy to speak out loud. In the moments when you smiled on the outside and ached on the inside. They have seen all of it. Every single piece. And today, they have a message for you. One they have been preparing for a very long time. Because something that was hidden is now being brought into the light. Something that was done against you in the dark, the universe just exposed it all. Listen carefully. This is meant for you. There are people in this world who saw how rare you were, and instead of protecting that rarity, they tried to diminish it. Not loudly. Not openly. No. They did it quietly. In whispers. In small, careful ways that were designed so that you would never quite be able to point to them and say, "That is what hurt me." That is what they did. They smiled at you. And plotted behind that smile. They called themselves your support, while slowly, secretly, pulling threads from the foundation you were trying to build. They watched you struggle and said nothing. They watched you doubt yourself and let the doubt grow. They let you believe that the problem was you. That you were too sensitive. Too emotional. Too much. Or maybe, not enough. And here is what your angels want you to hear right now. Here is what they need you to receive deeply into your spirit. You were never the problem. I want to say that again, because you need to feel it land. You were never the problem. The confusion they planted in you, that was by design. The self-doubt that crept in, was fed by them. The way you kept second-guessing your own instincts, was a result of being surrounded by people who needed you not to trust yourself. Because they knew. They knew that if you ever stepped fully into who you are, if you ever stopped shrinking, you would outgrow them completely. And that terrified them. Can I ask you something? How many times did you feel something was wrong, but talked yourself out of it? How many times did your gut speak clearly, and you hushed it, because you were afraid of being wrong? Or worse, afraid of what it would mean if you were right? That instinct you quieted, it was never wrong. The angels want you to know that your discernment has always been one of your greatest gifts. But they also want you to understand why it became so hard to hear it. When someone you trust consistently questions your perception, when they make you feel like your feelings are an overreaction, when they minimize your experiences just enough to keep you confused but not enough to make you leave, that is not love. That is not even friendship. That is control dressed in familiar clothing. And you, beautiful, patient, deeply feeling soul, you extended grace to them far beyond what they deserved. Because that is who you are. You love with your whole heart. You see the best in people even when they are showing you something far less than their best. You stay. You try. You give again and again from a well they kept quietly draining. Now slow down with me for a moment. Because this is where your angels want to speak the most gently. The person who tried to work against you in secret, they are not simply a villain in your story. They are someone who is deeply, deeply afraid. Fear is what drives people to sabotage. Pride is what stops them from apologizing. Wounds they never healed are what made them see your light as a threat rather than a gift. They could not celebrate you, because celebrating you reminded them of everything they had not become. Everything they had not chosen. Every risk they had been too afraid to take. Your growth was a mirror they could not stand to look into. So instead of doing the work of looking honestly at themselves, they tried to manage you. Minimize you. Keep you just small enough that the mirror would not hurt so much. This is the truth the universe is now exposing. Not to make you bitter. Not to fill you with anger toward them. But to finally set you free from the confusion. To give you the clarity that replaces all those long, circular nights of wondering, what did I do wrong? You did not do anything wrong. You were simply too much of something real, for someone who was not yet ready to be real themselves. And here is where things begin to shift. Because what was done in secret cannot stay in secret. That is a spiritual law as old as the stars themselves. Truth has a way of surfacing. The universe has a way of balancing what was tipped unfairly. What was whispered against you in rooms you were not in, is coming to light. The people who needed to see the truth about who was standing beside them, they are beginning to see it. The version of you that was painted unfairly, it is slowly being replaced by the real one. The one that cannot be hidden. The one that quietly speaks for itself through your character, your peace, your continued grace. You do not have to fight for this. You never had to fight for this. The universe is doing what it always does for those who walk in integrity and refuse to become what hurt them. It is balancing the scales. So here is what your angels ask of you now. Protect your peace like it is sacred. Because it is. Do not go back to explain yourself to people who were never listening. Do not shrink yourself again to make someone else comfortable in their smallness. Do not offer more grace to those who have already shown you who they choose to be. You have grown so much through this. More than you can fully see from where you are standing right now. The patience you practiced. The dignity you maintained when you could have responded with chaos. The love you kept choosing even when love was not being chosen for you. That is not weakness. That is one of the rarest forms of strength that exists. Trust yourself. Trust what you feel. Trust that the doors closing right now are not punishments. They are protection. And trust that what is coming for you is honest, is real, is worthy of who you have become through all of this. You deserve sincerity. You deserve people who speak the same words in private that they speak in front of you. You deserve a love and a circle that does not require you to be anything less than exactly who you are. That is what is on its way to you. This concludes the message from your guardian angels. Let us close with a prayer. Lord, universe, divine source of all that is good and true, we lift up this soul who has carried more than they should have had to carry. We ask that you wrap them in clarity and peace. That you remove every hidden thing that was working against them in the dark. That you strengthen their trust in themselves and in your timing. That you bring forward the truth in every situation where they have been wronged in silence. That you protect their heart without hardening it. That you lead them gently toward the people and the purpose that are truly theirs. And that every day forward, they walk in the full knowledge of how deeply they are loved by you. Amen. You are supported. You are protected. You are never alone. If this message reached something deep inside you today, type the number 444 in the comments right now. 444 is the number of divine protection. It means your angels are surrounding you. It means you are exactly where you are supposed to be. And if this brought you even a moment of peace or clarity, leave a word of encouragement below. You never know whose spirit your words might lift today. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who has been quietly carrying something too heavy for too long. They were guided here too.